Hello! Dream Warrior here, and... Why am I here? Hello! Dream Warrior here, and some of you guys might remember that I am this little thing called a Kinetic game partner. Maybe you guys have heard of this game called Phasmophobia. I've been playing the game since about, 2020, when the game officially, came out. I was one of the original Phasmophobia content creators, then eventually got grandfathered into the Kinetic Games partner. Well, the cool thing is everybody knows Kinetic Games for Phasmophobia. Well, now Kinetic is now opening up their own publishing division, so they're going to be publishing other indie titles and other indie games from different developers. Well, today they're doing their first showcase, the Kinetic Publishing Showcase. So we're going to watch this and we're going to see what they got cooking up.
And now the 10-second countdown sponsored by Ben Starr.
Alrighty, sponsored by Ben Starr.
8, 7, 6,
Let's do this.
5, 4, 3.
I'm going to try to keep the audio at a good level.
Go.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Let's go! Give us something
Hello,
good.
I'm Ben Starr.
What's up?
Welcome to the very first Kinetic Publishing Showcase.
Thank you. Happy to be
Kinetic
here.
Publishing is a new independent publishing label born from Kinetic Games, created to help exceptional developers bring their games to players around the world. We believe great games can come from anywhere, from debut creators taking their first steps into development, to established independent studios ready to reach even greater heights. What matters is the vision, creativity, and passion. That's the spirit Kinetic Publishing was built to support. And
As long as they don't use AI.
We'll be taking you on a journey around the world
Stop
to
it.
meet the first incredible developers who've joined us. You'll discover new worlds, new stories, new ideas, and the first batch of games we're proud to welcome into the Kinetic Publishing family.
I'm excited to see
These
what
are
the
developers
games
daring
are.
to create
I'm really
something
excited to see
special.
what the games are.
These are games we believe players everywhere should experience, and
I
this
mess with my
is
hair.
only the beginning. Let's get started. First stop, the UK and Contact Protocol from Cold Zephyr Games.
I like
In
the
Contact
art.
Protocol, you play as the security officer on the starship Pale Horse. It's a corporate ship carrying miners to Ganymede.
It's basically Papers, Please in space. That's how we describe it to new people. It's more than that, though. We've kind of tried to build on what Lucas Pope kickstarted back when he did Papers, Please.
You'll come across other ships. You won't really know who they are. They will tell you things about them, and based on that,
Also
you need to make a
apologize for
decision
the
about not just
ads.
whether you trust if they are who they say they are,
Which?
but if they're lying, if you trust them not to fire at you, try and kill you.
Maybe they are smuggling, maybe they're hiding something, maybe their data is just wrong. You can choose what to do, you don't have to follow protocol, but you have to make a decision whether to let them pass.
If you decide that you don't trust them, your only recourse is to load a torpedo and fire it, killing everyone on board.
You only have one option. Kill them all.
It's a cerebral game, so there is a lot of data checking.
Yeah,
and a lot of,
apologies for
doing things
the
right,
ads
but
that'll
also
pop
a
up.
lot of human decisions. You have to
Yeah,
do things that maybe aren't the right or wrong
We're
thing to
watching
do. And
this
it's up to
through
debate
Twitch,
whether it's the right or wrong
so
thing
it's
to do.
gonna have
It's kind of what the whole game's built around.
unfortunately.
How far can you trust a stranger? When you meet these other ships and you're going to pass by, they'll tell you things that sometimes explain the situation but can't be mechanically proven against the data you have. Like, oh, someone back at headquarters messed up our squawk code. We know it's wrong. Don't worry about it. But technically, you shouldn't let them pass because it's not correct information. They have to have correct information.
When you see a ship approaching, they will send you their information, you will send them yours, you will cross-check
So-
their information against solar maps, against your notes, against corporate policy and intelligence that you've gathered from other ships.
If it's matching, great.
So
If
it's
not,
kind
you
of
have to
like
ask why.
a-
If they're missing data,
like
you
a
have to ask
Papers,
for more.
Please
All the
type of
while,
game?
the other ship is making a decision about you as well. So it's a possibility that they may escalate.
In a sense?
So you have to prioritize. Do you spend time checking their information? Do you reassure them about your identity? Where do you place your effort and time? Time is a significant factor. As the other ship approaches, the distance decreases, they become clearer in your camera, and more information becomes available to you, but their weapons become more and more dangerous. It becomes harder and harder to avoid getting hit by a torpedo, and the communications delay between you, which at the start acts as a little buffer, giving you thinking time, starts to fade away to nothing.
So I think the core design principle for why we're making a tense game like this and how we're building the tension is the premise that humans don't cope well under cognitive load.
Cognitive load is basically the brain power required to complete a task. In Contact Protocol, we've engineered the game cruelly so that the moment you have to make a moral decision, we have ramped up the cognitive load as much as possible, so you are least able to make a decision that you might be happy with.
That resource is used to make mechanical decisions, but also emotional ones, like moral decisions. So if you're heavily data checking or fact checking stuff,
Oh my
you
God,
don't have
is
a lot
that
of
Quark?
bandwidth to also
Was
do
that-
the right thing
that's
as a human.
Quark!
And then those
I
things
love
happen,
it!
like that beautiful like glitch in the human brain. That's what Mick is in love with and decided to go make
Star
a game
Trek
about.
Deep
Every time
Space
you
Nine
destroy a
fans?
ship,
Anyone?
You'll get information
Anyone?
about that ship, including the amount of people on board, and the game will
love
tell
it.
you at the end
I
how
love
many
it
people
so
you ended
much.
up killing. You may end up in a situation where another ship
I
has
might play
already
this game
loaded a
simply for
torpedo
that.
because the
I
situation
might play
in
this
the
game
solar system
simply-
is so
simply for
threatening
that.
based on your actions.
So when you're done with an encounter, you go to the downtime, which is kind of like your personal quarters. It's kind of a relaxed space. Nothing bad is going to happen there, but that is the point in which you talk to the other characters on your ship.
There's 6 of them. You can sort of figure out who they are and get to know them, maybe make friends, make enemies. And then when all that's done and you go to sleep and the ship comes past, then the game is into the stressful stuff.
In the very first version of the game, we didn't have any downtime components. Players actually found it a little bit torturous because the tension was too much.
So everything in the game is hand-drawn by me. I really started to find
Yeah, I
a
like
style
that.
that really fit the game.
I like the
kind of
art style. The
loose,
art style is
intense
really, really cool.
brush strokes. I was inspired a lot by Disco Elysium, which I discovered after I started making the game. Whenever I'm feeling stuck on a drawing or getting too tight, I remember to bring out my inner Disco Elysium and just make it a little bit more insane.
Something called cassette futurism. It's very much based on the look and feel of Alien. All of the consoles,
I can say that.
the clicky switches, how
I didn't even
everything
think I,
whirs and clatters.
I don't even know if I entirely got that until he
Alien
said it,
series
but as
also
soon
has
as he
this
said
kind
it,
of
yeah,
grime that
I
comes
can
with it,
definitely
which we also really
see
wanted
Alien
to
in
capture
this.
and bring into the experience of the player, so that everything feels used and old and a bit disgusting.
I'm excited to see people deal with the consequences of their actions. The game's designed so that everything you do is remembered. You will affect your crew. You'll make friends with some of them and enemies with some of them, and you will blow up ships that maybe you didn't mean to because you were under that high stress. Like, I really want to see people struggle with that. That's the fun part when people play test it. They're like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know what I was doing.
We've got a demo up on Steam now. We've been really excited by different things players have done in that demo, decisions they've made. We're really excited to see what decisions you make. So head on to Steam now and check it out.
It does look cool. This seems like the kind of game that would be really, really fun on stream.
Contact
And then
Protocol will be the very
when you,
first title
you know,
launched
kill
by
everybody,
Kinetic
you can
Publishing,
just
set
blame
to
your
arrive in
chat.
Spring 2027.
I would never do that to my
if you're
chat,
as
though.
excited about it as we are, you can try the free demo available now on Steam. Just be careful who you pass in the space lanes. Staying in the UK, it's time to grab your motor broom and discover what it means to find home.
I'm sorry,
Here's
what?
Crescent County from Electric
Motor
Saint.
broom? What? Oh my god, it's actually a motorcycle broom.
So in Crescent County, you play as
It's
Luke.
actually a
You move
motorcycle
to the Isle of
broom.
Moor under kind of mysterious circumstances, and you fall in with a group of motor broom riders after you take your cousin's motor broom out for a spin, and it breaks. So you need
Great.
to earn some
You
money,
broke
right?
it.
So you start making deliveries by day, and you're street racing your new friends and crushes by night on a witch tech rural island, kind of set in the UK, but if it was magic. It's a game that's inspired very much by Kiki's Delivery Service, but if Kiki's Delivery Service kind of had the bikes of Akira. It's stylized, it's painted,
That's
it's full
cool.
of heart,
That's
it's based off my
really
illustrations,
cool.
and it's all about finding a place and what it means to find home.
I loved Kiki's delivery
The
service.
racing in Crescent County
And
is very
Akira.
much something that you
So
do
the fact that it's
hanging
kind
out
of
with
like
your
a combination
friends.
is kind of
It's
cool.
not time trials, it's not leaderboards, it's something that is very much inspired by my background in roller skating and the culture of roller derby. You can be competitive, but also when you're just skating with your friends, everyone wants to have fun when you're doing this. That's something that from the top we really wanted to make sure was coming through. It's a subculture, it's something that people are passionate about. And we also want it to feel approachable. You're getting off the broom, you're exploring an island, you're making deliveries, you jump back on the broom, your friends are like, hey, do you want to have a race? It's about hanging out and having fun, but also having some really high octane gameplay. Crunchy, drifting,
Definitely
going
get
through
that.
boosts, gliding, and jumping off of like really big
God,
cliffs
the
to do big
visuals
jumps.
of
It's great
this
fun,
are
and I want to make sure
gorgeous.
that people are getting a good amount of blood pumping racing there too.
I like this kind of visual style. I've seen this visual style before, but
One
like
of my big
I've always loved them.
inspirations
I
for
think
quest
it's
design and
looks
the
gorgeous.
varying tone of the different things that you're going to be doing is actually Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I've been consumed by that game, but I absolutely adore how it will subvert your
everyone else.
expectations even when you have a really simple job that you need to tackle. There's always something weird that ends up happening to Henry, and that's a really big inspiration for how we're approaching quests. For example, you might be asked to take a parcel of records from one person to another, but actually it's because they're going through a breakup and they change their mind mid-delivery and say, you know what, chuck those records in a pond. So the romances within Crescent County happen alongside all of the action. I grew up playing Dragon Age, and it's something that I think just makes them even more juicy and fun when you've got romances occurring alongside all sorts of like crunchy gameplay.
Oh shit! Whoa.
I'm an illustrator and a concept artist. That's, you know, my bread and butter.
That got
within
hot
the
really
games
fast.
industry. And I just got completely obsessed with this idea of witch tech. I was really drawn to creating this bright, stylized world that
It's a
people could get lost
beautiful
in,
world.
but also grounding it in magical realism and my own lived experience. I moved to the Isle of Wight for my first games job, and it was a really formative experience. That sense of getting to know a place deeply and building these memories in these different parts of town. It's a time that I look back on really, really warmly, and I wanted to
I would play
explore
this
that,
game
you
for the
know,
visuals
within
alone.
a video game, but you know, with like cool sci-fi fantasy motorbike brooms.
Like the game looks really fun, but like
started
I would
Electric
play this
Saint
game
with
for the
my friend
visuals
Pavley
alone.
back
The
in
visuals are
2022
gorgeous.
with the goal of making Crescent County a reality. So we announced the game in 2024 to amazing reception. People were really excited. We got fan art. We got to start building our community. With that in mind, we ramped up to our Kickstarter in 2025. It was just such a wonderful moment of the community coming together. I am eternally grateful to our Kickstarter backers for giving us the permission and opportunity to make this a reality. So the team working on Crescent County is pretty tiny. It's about 5 to 7 of us. It's a small team, but it's a very, very passionate team. If Underground Motorbroom Street Racing sounds like your vibe, please follow us on social media. I'm incapable of not showing what we're working on, and give Crescent County a wish list on Steam.
That looks like a lot of fun,
A
to be
huge
honest.
thank you to Anna and the whole team at Electric Saint.
And
for
I
a
like
closer
how
look at their
I love the
Wish
visual.
Tech
The
adventure.
visuals of
Wishlist
it
the game
are
now
gorgeous.
and get ready to ride off into the sunset with us.
Summer
when
of
Crescent County
2027.
launches in summer 2027.
Looks like these are
All
all
right,
coming to like
now
the
from the
same
UK to
platforms too.
Time to meet the
Germany.
Fake Lobster team and introduce you to Shellbound.
Shellbound? Oh, I know a lot of people who are going to be into this. It's like a Hollow Knight. Like a, is this gonna be like a
Shadowrun is
Metroidvania? Or
on a big ass snake.
it is, yep,
And
as
you're a
soon as I
parasite in
said
the
it.
world that can control enemies and use your abilities for combat, platforming, and exploration.
As soon as I said it, yep, it's definitely a Metroidvania.
So our game is set on a big ass snail because we always knew this marketing phrase of a living world.
Wait,
We thought, okay, our game
the
should
game
really
is
be
set
literally living
on a
world.
snail?
And also, a big ass turtle was already taken, so it is
Same
a
as
snail.
elephants, same as
That's-
elephants.
That's true. And also, snails are just f***ing weird and awesome. We love them.
I agree.
We are literally on a living creature that moves around, that has a heartbeat, that breathes, and every single instance of this biology of the snail also affects the gameplay that we are trying to achieve.
For instance, the giant heart. There's a big machine built around that heart that actually transfers that heartbeat into electric energy. And there's a point where you can actually control that heart and therefore control the electricity on the snail.
So one big disclaimer we absolutely have to address right now is the art style, because everything you see in the video is still a work in progress.
Okay.
So what we are doing right now is actually a complete revamp of the art style that we feel tells the story and therefore also represents the game in a much better way.
It's definitely giving Hollow Knight vibes.
We love Metroidvanias, and that's also the reason when it came to say, hey, do you want to make a game? The first initial idea, let's do a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
And there was never another option for
Very
us
big.
because that was just the games we grew up
Hollow
with
Knight
playing the
and
most.
maybe Ori and the Blind Forest. I see a little
Love
bit of
Metroidvanias,
Ori
but
and the
there are
Blind
always
Forest and
some
Hollow
aspects
Knight.
that actually annoyed us, like backtracking in a way, and we just want to improve on that and just create a Metroidvania that
This
we
will
really want to
be.
play. So one mechanic
can
that
see a
really
lot of
changes
people
the
that are
Metroidvania
gonna
formula
love
is our
this.
parasitizing system. You're a parasite, that means you can infest and control enemies and use their abilities. And you can use that for basically everything. For combat, platforming, for exploration,
that's
puzzle solving,
cool.
for everything. And this really does two things. You don't have just the classics like double jump and dash and whatever. You have all the abilities of the enemies as well. And the second thing is we are resolving
That's
strict ability
cool.
gating. Because a lot of Metroidvanias have that formed sequence how you can progress in the game. And in our case, you can really circumvent ability gating by using the abilities of the enemies.
Build a little bit of sequence breaking maybe in this.
So yeah, intentional and unintentional.
Exactly.
That's kind of cool. Honestly,
Another
that's kind of
system
cool.
that directly ties into the parasitizing system is our enemy evolution system. For every single enemy type that you encounter in the game, if you kill enough instances of that one enemy type, they will evolve into a stronger and potentially even completely different kind of enemy type. For instance, we have a maggot enemy type in there, which like doesn't do anything. It wiggles around, maybe attacks you, jumps down on you. But if you kill that certain enemy type enough of times, eventually every single instance will evolve into a different form. In this case, a flying enemy. So in that case, now you have completely new abilities when it comes to parasitizing, because now you can go into that flying enemy and see, okay, what areas can I now explore? What attacks can I use? Are there different kinds of puzzles that I maybe can solve that I couldn't because I just had that maggot?
So on top of all these mechanics, we
That's
also have
really
the biome
nice,
evolution,
too.
and that really brings everything together.
This is
Whole
cool.
biomes can
Like,
change
this is
over time
really,
through
really
story
cool.
progression, but also through your actions. And one example for that would be the Mucus Garden. The Mucus Garden is a vibrant jungle-like biome, really lush, really full of life, but it can go completely dead and barren. It's not only looking different, but also the whole structure changes. The areas you can go
Something
to.
on my tongue
And with
hurts.
that,
Sorry.
You actually get rid of stale and boring backtracking, because backtracking in our game always brings you something new. Yeah, you go to a biome you already have been through 10 times, but this time the whole biome has changed. The enemies have changed through enemy evolution. The whole thing is really new, and backtracking actually gets fun.
I think that was always one of my big issues with Metroidvanias, all the
We
backtracking.
created that bonkers idea of
So,
a
I mean,
world on a
the
snail,
fact that it's different
with only 3 people, but
is
the
really
crazy
cool.
thing is we found along the way other weird people who actually believe that this bonkers idea could make a great game and really work out in the end. So right now we are
9 weird people.
9 weird people.
Weird
One
people
big
are the
snail.
best. Just
We're
letting
really
y'all
excited
know.
to ramp up production on Shadowrun.
So,
And
you
if
wanna
you're
know
not
more about
weird,
what's happening on this
either
big
get
ass
weird
snail,
or get
follow
out.
and join us on Discord and on
I ain't got
Steam.
time for you
Wishlist. Oh,
normies.
bless you, my dear.
Thank you. See you there.
Okay, that looks fun. That looks
fake
really,
lobster.
really, really fun.
You had me from the mention of the world-creating giant snail. Shellbound is set to release in 2028.
Had to be there too. I agree,
Now
Ben.
let's head away from Germany and all the way to Thailand. Say
Thailand?
hello to Vonda Games and their debut title, Ether, Wizard Life.
Ether Wizard Life. Oh, okay.
Ether Wizard Life is a cozy life simulation game where every wizard having a unique kind of magic after graduating from the Wizard Academy.
The game itself has the dual dynamics between the cozy simulations and also adventure combats in the game. So each morning when players wake up in their beds,
I like the art style. I'm gonna say right out the gate, this might not be my style game. It's just not. I'm not usually the super big into games like these, just personally. But I do know a lot of people who would really like this. I love the art style for sure.
So like the central narrative of the game, we got inspiration from American Horror Story Coven. There's a secret organization behind which trial that's still ongoing from the past, and that is kind of like similar to what happens in our game.
This does
there are
look
like
cool.
ongoing kidnapping of wizards to burn them and then strip off their power and then return the wizard back to the town.
Not something I for sure.
Spirits.
Not something I not something I would think I would play. But I've definitely watched people play this.
That is ongoing in the town of
Especially for the story, because I do like this style.
I think my favorite
like
part
the
would be
art style
to build
and
the
the
castle
story.
and that you live in.
The idea of the
It's
story.
really old, like there are
Howl's
lots
Moving
of ruins
Castle.
there. The players can use their spells and their magic to rebuild the whole place. You can collect the blueprints and then you can design the whole farms on your own. We have the grid system where players can design the whole layout of where to put the buildings surrounding the castle itself. For example, you can build lots of fields, you can build stables to care for your exotic magical creatures. I think I would say it's about interacting with the spirits for each NPCs. When you see like the characters in the game, you're going to see that each wizard has their own spirits. And that's how we designed the game to be quite unique. And like these spirits represents their magic that they have, like the specialty, the mastery of the magic that they have. As a player, you get to forage a lot of items. For example, when you go into the dungeons,
I do really
and you can
like this
pick
art
up the
style.
mandrakes.
I love the
you collect,
animations
like,
as well,
slimes
too.
from the cave itself. There's like a potion shop in the center of the town, and that's like how you earn a lot of money from Cassandra. She's like the witch who like run this potion shop. The customer might come in and like they have a personal problem in their dating life and they need a potion, like for example love potion. We can just collaborate with Cassandra to come up with that potion and sell to her. We love the aspect of tavern. This guy, his name is Orwell. He's like kind of like a Viking wizard. He obsessed with the elements of the monsters and turned them into delicious meals. Like he cooked the weird menu like a capybara
Isn't there
steak
an anime that's
or,
like
a
that?
slime soup. Lots of like
Am I wrong?
weird menus that he can
Pretty
come
sure
up
there's
with.
like an
I think the
anime
player's
like
going
that.
to enjoy discovering each of the new dishes, the weird personality that he has to offer. We have many inspirations.
I can't
for
remember
our
the title
game.
of it,
It's
but I
come
do
from
know
the
it.
love for Studio Ghibli's animations because I grew up with all the animations, not
We
just
can tell.
Howl's Moving Castle. We also love Spirited Away, My Neighbor
Okay.
Totoro as well. So we
As
kind
soon as
of
I
like
saw
want
the
to
moving
build a game
castle, it's
that
like,
has
okay,
this-
so Howl's
that
Moving
vibe.
Castle. I can
We love
definitely see
cozy
the Studio
games. So
Ghibli
titles definitely
influence
Stardew Valley
there.
inspired
Oh,
us.
for
Day of
sure.
the Diver and Spiritfarer. When I first played Day of the Diver, I spent like days playing without
I never had a chance to
breaking.
play
Like,
Dave
it's
the Diver.
Really, really addictive.
And
As
it
for
sucks because they had a whole
Spiritfarer, we
Godzilla
really like
event,
the
and I really
connection
wanted to do that.
Players can feel with the NPCs they have. That's what we try to capture in the game. We spent years trying to come up with this type of art direction that we have right now. If you go back to see our Kickstarter campaign, you're gonna see a lot of artworks in there. It's look totally different from what we have right now. We kind of want to make sure that like all the pieces in the games are hand-drawn by our artists. And so we're really proud of the art style that we have right now because when we see that
Good.
it's really different from other games that we have seen in the market.
Good
I think we are the
artists
first
don't use AI.
game who launched
buttholes.
Kickstarter campaign from Thailand. We hope to set a good example for Thai developers that you can release a title that can resonate with the global audience as well. After Ether Wizard Live was released on Kickstarter, we see a few more Thai games release the campaign on Kickstarter as well. I think players who expect to play the game that are heavily inspired by Studio Ghibli's animation and those who
I
like
can
cozy
definitely see
games
that.
where you can sit back and relax to enjoy this game very much.
WISHLIST Live is on Steam. Please go wishlist now.
Again, not my style game that I would typically
Ether Wizard
play,
Life is
but
also
definitely
set
a
for a
game I can see a
2028
lot
launch,
of
and will be a
people
cozy
playing and really
adventure that's
loving.
well
And I do
worth the
love
wait.
this art style a lot. And I like the
Finally,
animations
from
they have
Thailand
with it
to the
too.
USA. It's time to
USA,
introduce the next game from Sam Barlow and his award-winning studio, Half Mermaid.
Award-winning studio. Hello. Do I know this? I know Sam Barlow?
Precognition is a sci-fi horror project coming to you from the
You got me.
minds of Sam Barlow and Brandon Cronenberg.
You play as a character
You got
called
me.
Diana.
Do I know
has
those
had
names?
An implant put in her brain, and a marvelous side effect of this implant is she's now receiving visions of her own future.
Sci-fi
Making a
horror?
game
You got me.
like Precognition has been a natural evolution of what we did on Immortality, but we've really been trying to test the limits of non-linear storytelling.
We have a real focus on the game feel and player agency and freedom. So in Immortality, we have this magical match cut feature. So it allowed you to almost put together your own film and create this narrative.
Okay, so these
where
are
you
their
jump
past games.
From point to point, you're jumping around time and space, finding these connections.
I haven't played this, so I don't know this one.
If you sit someone down to play one of our games, within the first few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, everyone is off in a different direction. And with Precognition, we want to kind of take that to the next level. From the very beginning, you are seeing through Diana's eyes. And then once the experiment begins, and Diana starts receiving these visions, which for her, she essentially organizes as memories, right?
Is it
These
going to
are
be like an
memories of the future
FMV
she hasn't yet lived.
game like they just showed? I
She is
imagine it
able
would
to
be, because they're not
experience
really
this
showing
vision
us
and then
a
focus
lot
and
of the
concentrate
game that
on
they're
a moment and
this
commit
game.
that to memory. And immediately on doing that, the future changes.
If you're not familiar with our previous games, Immortality, Sam's game Her Story, Telling Lies, this might look very different from what you expect of a video game. You might have a notebook on your desk as you're playing. You might be furiously trying to cross-examine clips and understand, what am I really seeing and what am I missing? That really is the experience of playing something like Precognition.
My name is Brandon Cronenberg. I'm a primarily horror film director. I've made 3 feature films, Antiviral, Possessor, and Infinity Pool. And I'm the filmmaker outsider who was brought in kind of for fun to collaborate on the writing. So I was involved with Sam and his team on the story.
I
and
guess
wrote
if it is
some
an
scenes.
FMV style game, I can understand why they're not showing a lot.
Like a really pure sci-fi horror. We're like, who out there would be a good collaborator for this? And so we kind of did this process of speed dating horror directors. And I think Brandon was the one who, straight out the gate, we sparked with. He'd already played Her Story and Immortality, so he kind of understood the games.
Horror films I have made up to this point tend to be very subjective. You know, they're very experiential, where you're really rooted in one character's perspective, and that's part of the experience of the horror. The world is warping, and it's warping dependent on their psychology, and so it kind of slotted neatly into this game because, again, it's a very subjective experience.
We've proven that there is an appetite for these things that are a bit more complex, a bit darker, a bit stranger, but also the idea of it's always about the freedom that you as a player have to explore the story, to feel like
It's
you're
like,
making
this
the
looks
story
cool. It
happen
keeps
in a
showing
way
us
that's unique to
Immortality,
you.
and it does
Have
look
that be
really
the
cool.
mission statement.
To keep up to date with Precognition, follow us on Blue Sky at halfmermaid.co, or even better, wishlist the game on Steam today.
I wish we could have seen a little bit more of the actual Precognition, but I get it. If it is like an FMV style game, I can understand why they're not.
Collaborating to bring Precognition to players in spring 2028.
Sounds really
and
cool,
there you
though.
have it. 5 incredible
Well, there we
games,
go.
5 talented independent developers, all creating amazing experiences and worlds.
Crescent County.
Each of the games you saw today are currently
and,
available to wishlist. Just scan the QR code on screen now to do so.
The other one.
You can
Crap.
also stay up to date with
I
all
lost
the games
it.
we
My
showed today
brain is
and
not
more
working.
by heading
The
to
one, the
Kinetic Publishing
Metroidvania.
website. I've
Those
been
ones look like
self-professed
my
lover of
favorite
indie
ones.
games, Ben
Precognition
Starr.
does look pretty
This
cool
was
as
the
well.
first ever Kinetic Publishing showcase. Thank you for joining us.
Well, there we go. Yeah, those two, I think, are like the highlights for me. This one looks really cool too. The one where like it's almost like a Papers, Please sort of type of game. Those were my highlights. Precognition does sound cool.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so
I
much
would
for
like
watching.
to see
This is Ben Starr.
more
You heard me
of
in
it,
the
though.
thing that I just narrated. I said
Like if it's a sci-fi, if it's a sci-fi horror, but it's meant to be like more of an FMV game, I can
We're about to
understand
run that
why.
again.
That was cool. That was really cool. So I did enjoy it. I think that there are some standouts for me. Precognition sounds really interesting. I would really like to see a little bit more of it, personally. But the Crescent County and then the Metrovania. I don't know why the title is slipping my goddamn mind, but go back and watch it. You'll find it. It looks cool. It sounds cool. It looks like it'll play really fun. They all look great. Like visually, they all look fantastic, and I think that I think there's going to be an audience for all of them. They do look like they're fun. All the developers seem very, very passionate about their work, which I love to see. I love seeing passion when it comes to anything creative. So that was cool. That's exciting, dude. That's really exciting. So all the devs, your guys' stuff looks absolutely phenomenal. And everybody, if you guys liked any of these games, let me know in the comments which games did you like, which games are you the most excited for, which ones are you guys wishlisting, which, by the way, wishlist those games. If you liked any of them, be sure to wishlist them. Support those devs. Wishlisting really, really helps those devs and gets them into all their algorithms and gets the game seen. So, and that is massive for these developers. Let me know in the comments which games of the showcase are you most excited for, and let me know what you guys thought of the Kinetic Publishing showcase. That was their first ever showcase, so who knows what they got coming up. And yeah, that was cool. That was cool. Kinetic, that was good. I like it. I like it. That's it for this one, chat. Chat, all of you. I'm not streaming. What am I doing? But that's it for this one. Till we meet again, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Whoop-a!